Plaintiff Lamika Lumpkin says the defendant is her brother, and the two of them grew up in Detroit. Lamika says she went off to college while her brother ran away from home, started selling drugs, and was in and out of jail. Lamika's suing her brother for rent, property damages, and an unpaid loan. Defendant Ernell Craighead III admits that he sold drugs for 12 years and at one point was making $30,000 a week. Ernell says he decided to turn his life around after he was arrested for possession of cocaine while his son and wife were in the car. Ernell admits that he borrowed money from his sister, but insists he's helped her out in the past, so they should be even.
Prove your case.
This is my brother. We're two of six kids who were raised in Detroit in a pretty abusive and poor family home on the west side of Detroit.
What part of the west side?
We grew up on Lauder, off 6 Mile near Greenfield.
Why do you say abusive?
My father was very abusive. He's deceased now, but he was a military man, and his mother was strict. He was very strict. And
What, do you whoop you all excessively or something?
yes. Yeah, not just whooped. I mean, kids nowadays don't know what abuse is. I know what abuse is.
Make you get the switch from the
Just
rolls.
go get your own switch. We learned to pick the big ones. Stop picking them little bitty ones because they
How
really
about the
hurt.
ironing cord?
The ironing cord, phone cord, belts.
Unfortunately, some of the folks in the older generation, that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, tell me about you and your brother's relationship.
We really weren't that close as children. I'm 3 years older than him. I beat him up a lot. As coming up, that was coming up. He'll tell you he got me back on
our last fight.
whatever. That last fight, he was 16. Ago. Okay, it was.
I was 12.
Whatever. You were not 12.
All right, that's not a big deal today.
Anyway, okay, well, we weren't that close, but I still love him, my brother. We fought a lot, but we still.
Obviously, he ended up living with you at one point because you're suing him for rent.
Yeah, not with me in a rental property that I have.
Okay,
But,
all right.
Yeah, she lived with me on and off for 5 years rent free.
Can I finish?
Let her finish. Yes, ma'am.
Then anyway, back then I left and went away to Michigan State University for college.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. My daughter just graduated last year from Michigan
congratulations.
State.
I'm happy for him. It's a great accomplishment there.
Yeah.
It really is.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, after I left, him and my father weren't getting along. He ended up running away from home, getting into all type of gang banging, drug situations, and ended up in and out of jail for drug situations. Mm-hmm. And you know, as we got older, we got closer, I think, because of our, how we were coming up, some of the things we went through. Mm-hmm. We got a lot closer with one another. Anyway, I thought around that time he had, sometime in early 2000s, that he had given up that drug lifestyle and everything where he was dealing with drugs and everything. And he wasn't doing that any longer, but he picked up another bad habit in the meantime, which was gambling. And so, 3, 5, 7, 4, 6, 8, or whatever that is, they play in the hood shooting dice, and he go to the casino and was losing a lot of money doing that.
Used to, yeah.
Used to.
Yeah, you broke now, I guess. You can. It's always used to when you broke. Let me hear some background from you, sir, before we get to the rent and property damage.
Well, yeah, and I'm here because just like you got a second chance, I got a second chance. I did sell drugs for 12 years straight, every day. Made a lot of money at one point, somewhere around $30,000 a week. Then I got pulled over with a quarter key with my family, my wife and my son. Well, now it's my ex-wife and my son. You always hear about the hurt you cause your family until you actually see it firsthand. And it started me to change my life, but I still
What year was that?
That was 2005.
All right. You go to penitentiary?
They gave me 2 years.
So you got the second chance in 2007 when you came out?
No, I ain't go to prison till 2007. I was fighting the case from the street.
Okay. So when you came out in 2009?
I came out in 2009, yes, sir.
All right. What have you been doing since then?
Well, I actually enrolled in Wayne State from the penitentiary.
Good.
And I had a class the day I got out, and I went.
Excellent.
And on my first report card, I had 3.7.
Really? At Wayne State?
At Wayne State.
You got to be pretty bright. That's a major university.
I'm still in Wayne State right now.
Great.
I haven't sold
They
any
wouldn't even
drugs.
let me in. They wouldn't admit me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I haven't sold any drugs since 2005.
Good.
You know, and
Good. It's good to hear that. All right, you certainly have turned your life around, and hopefully you'll continue toward that success.
I own a dry cleaners right now. Well, I own,
Don't tell us about what you did with your proceeds.
No, I got out the penitentiary like every brother getting out the penitentiary, broke with nowhere to stay.
Really? How'd you come up?
I just put myself in a position to succeed.
Doing what?
I know a lot of people in the cleaning business. There was a cleaner sitting on the corner of Finkel and Coyle. I told her if she let me open it up, just let me fix the building, and I'm gonna open it up, and we'll both be getting money. It's a recession in Detroit. She went with it, and now
Is he doing all these good things?
He's doing really good.
Excellent.
I was gonna get to
Excellent.
that.
That's
He is
good to
doing
hear.
really good.
I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope that many other ex-offenders and brothers in prison learn your story so that they can do the same thing. And I tell ex-offenders that all the time. In fact, I tell them if they were able to achieve success after having been incarcerated, then they owe it. It is an obligation that they go and try and help those who've been left behind. So I'm glad to see you're doing that. So appreciate it. Go ahead.
He came to me in June and had a proposal for me. You know, he needed a place to stay. He was.
What was the agreement ultimately?
The agreement was that he would pay me for 3 months in advance. Okay, and he was only going to stay there for 3 months.
How much would that be?
$1,200.
All right.
For the 3 months. That was the agreement that we came to. So anyway, I wrote up an agreement with him, and because
Let's see the agreement.
because I know my brother, this is the lease agreement that we signed. He paid me the $1,200 up front. The agreement that we made was that he would only stay there that time, but I knew it was going to be longer than that. So I put it in that lease agreement that if you stay here longer than that, okay, the rent would be $500 a month.
Another 100.
Yes, $500 a month because that was only $400. So, and you had to be staying here yourself. If anyone else moved in with you, it was $100 extra per month for the person that anybody moved in.
And then it goes up to $650 at some point.
All the fine
at
print,
the end.
And it went up $10 if you go through the back door.
Your Honor, if you see my lease agreement, I wrote that out myself. I wrote that out myself, and I thought I did a pretty good job. With him, I know that I had to be very specific because he's a smart individual, and if I didn't get it right, he was going to come with some loophole. We didn't say blah, blah, blah. So I put that in there. If you stay, I gave him 3 more months at $500. If you stay longer than that, then it's going to be
That's
this.
how she was saying.
So
just
total
like
amount he owes
For rent, the total amount he owes for rent is $1,300.
All right.
Also, I mean, well, during the time that he first moved in, he moved my brother in.
That's not
right
true,
here.
Your Honor.
In the second month that he was there.
All right, but you've told me $1,300, and that includes your brother having.
that includes. Yeah,
all
that
right,
includes
so
that.
we'll allow him to respond to the total amount.
Okay.
Now,
Also,
property damage. How did
property
he damage your
damage.
property?
My brother's sitting here, okay, Jason. The carpet was damaged. He spilled
how?
some red pop on the carpet,
Okay.
and I saw him, and he's.
All right, and he would be responsible as the principal tenant, sir, unless he signed the lease. You have the property damage bill or picture.
No, I have this picture. And
What do you want to tell me, sir, about the rent, first of all?
Well, as you can see, the rent was going up every day. So, a lot of times,
According to the lease that you
Right, that you
signed.
signed.
I ain't had nowhere to stay, so I was gonna sign it if the keys was on it. So then my brother come through. I'm talking to him. We got each other back right, and we was trying to. She just ain't. I owe her.
How much do you owe? Do you owe this $1,300?
I gotta see the paper. I don't know.
She knows.
Right.
She's very clear. What paper do you
And
need
the
to
property
see?
damage.
The
We was all
lease?
drinking together when she knocked the drink over. When he knocked the drink over.
Ma'am, were you there?
We were there drinking, and they said the reason why it
You wanna
happened
come
because
up?
I didn't give him no cranberry
State your
juice,
name.
so he went to get some
My
red
name's
pop out the
Jason, Your Honor.
What do you
refrigerator.
want to tell me? She says you dropped red pop while you all were drinking because she wouldn't give you any cranberry juice to go with the vodka.
How you know we drinking vodka? You know,
I know what you drink with cranberry juice. I know what they drink off 6 Mile and lager. I know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
All right,
What do you
Judge.
want to tell me about this damage to the carpeting?
Basically, she come over with the liquor. You know, we chilling. We ain't asked her to come over. She popped up. And she had the liquor. I'm sitting at the table. The table get bumped. I might have did it. It was my glass.
Who bumped it? You bumped it?
I can't remember. We was drunk.
All right. She says she remembers, and so I'm going to rely on her memory because she's very specific with everything she's saying. And the unpaid loan you're referring to, how much?
Okay. Around about December, he was getting everything started for his cleaners that he was trying to start up, and he asked me to borrow out $1,000. I actually offered to help him.
When was he to repay it?
By April the 1st.
And he hasn't?
No, he has not.
Any at all?
No, sir, not
All
at all.
right. Sir,
And-
what do you say about the $1,000?
Your Honor, I was trying to get on my feet, getting the cleaner started, and I was telling her I was begging, and she offered me the $1,000. And I told her I would pay it back.
Come
I
on,
ain't know
now
the
you
6
come
months
from the
was up
game.
yet.
You know you can't sound so pitiful.
Thank you. And Your Honor, I have
I know that.
I have the agreement here that he signed, Your Honor, and it also states that if it's not paid in full by April the 1st, that he owes an
Let's see it.
additional fee.
We knew that. We knew that.
I know my brother, Your Honor. I'm serious. I just know my brother.
So you put penalties. You say if he doesn't pay, then he owes $250 more.
The only reason why I even put that on there is that was really to motivate him to pay me. He like, well, I'll have you paid way
But
before
your
then.
motivation didn't work.
It did.
Now,
It was just motivation.
$2,850 is your judgment. They have
you, Your
no
Honor.
defense that I find acceptable. Therefore, I'll grant your judgment. And once again, I'm glad to see you doing your thing. Continued luck to you. Have a good day. Thank you for the claim.
Bring some clothes to my cleaners. Make on coil.
I love my brother to death, and we good behind this. I just want him to be responsible and pay his sister back.
I ain't over yet.
She conned me out of 400.
Oh, you know I love you. We gonna be all right. I'm gonna take some clothes to the
Finger
cleaners
and coil.
tomorrow.